Hello everybody, today I'm going to be doing the drugstore video I've been talking about for 7 years. I'm going to be talking about the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation, the newer, it's very e.l.f. heavy I should say, the e.l.f. Sun Boss glosses, and I have the shades Peachy Queen, and then It's Your Mauve. So that's the shades that I have. I'm going to be talking about the Maybelline Lifter Liner. And I meant to show this at the end of the video, but I just wanted to show you. This is the liner. It does not budge at all. So that's the Lifter Liner, and I have the shade On It. And then the NYX bronzer, and I have the shade Buttercup. So I just wanted to show you how these perform and how I got this look. So if you want to see that, just keep watching. Okay, before I start, I just want to say thank you so much for all of your super kind messages about my dog. She's still here, but we've made the decision to put her down on Monday. So yeah, I don't want to talk about it. This is why I'm doing this video. I just need to like get my mind off of it. She's sleeping right now, otherwise I would be with her. But yeah, she's just not doing well, and she hasn't been for the last long while, but especially this last week has been really bad. So thank you, and I appreciate you, and I love you. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. So I have the shade 20 Light Cool. I've only used this a couple times, but I really like it. Every time I've used it, I've really liked it. Yeah, so let's go right into it. I did put a primer on. I forgot to use a drugstore primer. I actually wasn't going to do this video, and then I'm like, no, I need something to distract me, which is the Kelly Ray So Blown. That's the one I use all the time. I'm interested in trying the One Size Oil Sucker, I think it's called, because I really need that. But I'm wondering for the wedding if I want to do a really good primer or both, or a really good setting spray that's really gonna like absorb the oil. I don't know, maybe both. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the foundation. Sorry, I just want to make sure my door is open so I can hear her if she gets up. Okay. So I had a hard time deciding what shade I should get, but this one does lean a little pink, which makes sense because it's a cool shade. But I feel like the other one might have been a little bit too warm, like too yellow. So I feel like this one's okay. I mean, it looks like I'm a neutral, so I can either go a tiny bit cooler, a tiny bit warm, and kind of make it work. But I'm sorry, I have a little like breakout here. I don't know why. But besides that, it looks really nice on the skin. And I feel like it did keep me relatively matte. I'll put notes on how it wears. I forget because it's been a while since I wore it, but I'll put notes below in my description on how it wore. And how all of it wore, I should say. But I have tried, I think I've tried all of these products already. I like to try to do that. I don't love doing first impressions only because sometimes I could love a product right off the bat and then later on be like, oh, maybe I don't like that about it. And usually I will say it in another video, but, or I try to update the description like, actually I didn't like it. But for now, I like to try stuff out like once or twice before I use it, and then I can actually give you my thoughts on it. I mean, sometimes I do a first impression like the road video. And I did say in that video that it was too shiny, which I still agree with, but I feel like for me, the best way to use that blush would be to just add a tiny bit of powder blush on top of it. I mean, it lasted all day even without the powder blush, but just to take down that shine and that tacky feel, I felt like it helped so much to just add that powder. But it did look nice. Like, I do like the like radiant glowy look, but just not on my T-zone. So it's okay on the cheeks, but I just don't like the tacky feeling. But the shade is so beautiful, because when I used it another day with the powder blush, it looked so nice and bronzy, and I really liked it. So I have a couple videos in the queue here. Again, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do it, because obviously I'm going to be, you know, grieving. But I do have the Chanel blush. My nose is still running. The Chanel blush, I have the Dior foundation stick. Sorry. The Dior foundation stick, and then the Dior contour stick or bronzer stick. I can't remember what it's called. Along with the Dior, I think it's Dior Riviera, the blush and highlight in one. So let me know what you want to see first. I don't know, maybe you're sick of the Chanel stuff, but I'm still going to do it anyways. I'm just going to include it in a full face of Chanel video and see what happens with that. I don't really have a new... Oh, so this is what it looks like. Like, obviously I still have texture. I'm always going to have texture no matter what. But obviously that gets calmed down a little bit with the powder. So I'm just going to use the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer, and I have the shade Vanilla. It's quite light. I don't think I have... I'm just going to use this setting powder, which is the powder, which is the Pat McGrath, because I don't have an under eye one. I have an old e.l.f. one, but they don't sell it anymore, so I don't think I should use that, because it wouldn't make sense to use something that you can't get anymore anyway. I haven't used this one in a while. I can't remember if I like it or not. My eyes are so puffy. Just like sitting on the couch with her, just holding her and bawling hysterically. I'm like, okay, like I need this, but also it was a lot. Now everybody's calling us like family, and I just like, I don't want to talk about it right now. Just, yeah. Okay, so I'm just using that Pat McGrath Have a New Puff here. And just set that down. Oh, I hate when I have a new puff and sometimes the seam, like the glue on the seam, will like stab me on the under eye, which is not a great feeling. So far so good, I think, with the concealer. I mean, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. I think I'm the only one on earth who didn't love the e.l.f. hydrating camo concealer. And same with the NYX serum concealer. Maybe I have to try that one again because everyone loves that one. But yeah, for some reason I just didn't love either one of them, but I think I just need to give them a try again. I mean, my e.l.f. concealers were so old, so that could have been why too. But I didn't really like them when they were new either. But I feel like as my skin is changing, some things I didn't used to like the Huda concealer, I now really like. So not that I'm convincing you to hold on to things, but your opinion might change. If your skin is changing, I feel like your opinions might change on these things. I've been really enjoying this powder. This is the number 7 Lift Illuminate Triple Action Finishing Powder in light medium. It's a little bit dark, but I can make it work. This powder, I don't know if you can still get it. I will double check if you can. I think I got it on Amazon, but I'll see if it's still available. Hopefully it is, because it's really good. And I have a hive under my lip. I could feel it getting itchy as I was talking. So maybe I'll add a dab of concealer on there. So that kind of just like settled down that shine a little bit. And then I'm just gonna go on my nose here with the powder. Calm it down even more. Okay, so that's what we're looking like. I feel like it's really nice, the foundation. It's not heavy. It's not overly mattifying. I feel like it's just kind of like the perfect like demi matte maybe. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with a bronzer. This is the NYX Buttermelt bronzer. I got this shade. Normally I always go darker with my bronzer than light because I don't like a too light bronzer. This one is leaning a little too light. Like when I swatched it, I was like, oh my god, it's a highlight. But I can actually make it work as a bronzer. So this is what it looks like. You can see it's very light. Even if I put it on my hand, it looks quite like peachy reflective. I know. So I should have probably got the 2nd or 3rd shade. So this is the lightest shade that they have. But I saw Jen Phelps use this and it looked so good on her. So I'm like, well, I'm getting that. And then I'm like, afterwards, I'm like, did she have the wrong shade? So this is actually what it looks like. I went a little heavy there. Didn't mean to use that much, but... And it does have a sheen to it, which I'm okay with the sheen. I just don't want it here. I know I've said that a billion times, but... So just keep that in mind. If you don't want any sheen at all in your bronzer, this is probably not the one for you, but I do think it looks nice. It gives the skin like a nice kind of subtle glow. So this one to me is quite the peachy bronzer. So if you don't like a peach bronzer, this shade is not going to be for you. And if you're any darker than me, definitely go up a shade. But I still think it has more color than the YSL. That YSL one was just... I still use it because, I mean, I have it and it was expensive, so I use it, but I usually mix it with like a little bit of a darker bronzer. And just if I want to mattify a bronzer a little bit, I'll use that one. So as you can see, it did bronze. As light as it looks when I swatch it, it's weird. When I actually put it on my face, it does give a bronzy tone, so still works. And it smells really good. Again, if you don't like a scent, you might not like it. To me, it smells a little more like coconutty. I don't know if there's coconut oil actually in it. I'll have to check that. Because I know a lot of people, coconut oil will break them out. That's something to note. I don't know if it has it, but I will try to see if I can find it. These just became available in Canada. We still don't have the blushes. Like, what do we do in Canada? Why do we take so long? The blushes, I saw a couple just start trickling in on Amazon, and it sucks because my friend actually just picked me up a couple at Ulta, but I haven't seen her since, so I wasn't able to use it for this video. I probably should have waited to do it, but I wanted to get something up and I wanted to keep my mind occupied, so yeah. Okay, I'm gonna just go back in. I'm just gonna put a hint of the foundation under my lip there because I have that hive. Usually I get random hives if I'm like nervous or stressed, which makes sense. I couldn't find a blush I wanted to use, so I'm either gonna use this one or this one. I don't know. I think with the look I'm doing, I think this would go better. I can't remember the name of this one, and I can't. Oh, this is Isla del Sol. I think this one is Maui. Like I'm almost 100% that's Maui. Now I don't know which brush to use. Maybe I'll just use my Sonia G mini base brush. This one here. I feel like this one. Oh, she might be awake. Give me one sec. Sorry, she was just kind of situating herself in her bed. But I do have to take her out soon. This one's really nice. I don't know why. I haven't used these in so long, and I don't know why, because they're actually very pretty. So this one does, this is the luminous one, I believe. Yeah, luminous putty blush. So this one does have a little bit of a shimmer or sheen to it, I should say. So you can see, I probably am not going to use a highlight, but that looks very pretty. Nice. Okay, I am gonna take her out. Just give me one sec. I just can't get it together. Every time I walk her and I'm holding her, I just freaking break down. But it's not good. So I'm gonna go in with this. I don't think this is new. It's new-ish, but it's been around for a bit already. This is the Perfect 10 eyeshadow in Nude Mood. I'm gonna start with this shade here. Maybe go into these two. Just using a Sephora collection brush. And I had primed my eyes already because I wasn't planning on filming with the MAC Soft Ochre paint pot. So this is a much cooler eyeshadow palette than I was expecting it to be. I don't know why. I thought it looked a little bit warmer in the actual pan than what it is, but it's quite cool toned. So that's why I have two lip glosses that I want to show you, but I'm gonna use the cooler toned one just because I feel like it goes better with the whole look. But yeah, I don't know. I felt like I wanted to do a drugstore video just because there's so many good drugstore products. Like, yes, I purchase more, you know, like Sephora products, but I feel like we forget about how good some of these drugstore ones actually are. So that's why I wanted to do this video. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. Some people only shop at the drugstore, and some people only shop for higher end. That's why I like to do a little bit of both. I mean, I know my channel is, mostly a little bit higher end makeup, but I like to throw this in every now and then because we forget about these good things. Ooh, it's all right. I'm gonna go in with this shade here, that first shade. So this is a strictly matte palette. I haven't used this shade. That shade's kind of cool. I don't know what I want to use. I've only used this palette one time, so I'm not like super familiar with it, but it's pretty. I have always really liked just these like four, where are they? I don't think I have it here, but it's just like the 4 shades in one. I don't know where it is. I think it's called Cafe Olé. But yeah, it's just like 4 brown shades and they're really nice and the pigment is great. And it's just as good as, I mean, not as good as high end, but very nice. I don't know which eyeshadow I want to use. I don't think, or eyeliner. I don't think I have, I don't know which liner I have from the drugstore. Maybe I'll just use this one from MAC. This is in the shade Coffee. And it's just a really dark brown. This eyeshadow by MAC feels very dry. Like I'm used to using the Victoria Beckham. So as I'm putting this on my eye, it feels very dry, but I feel like it's very long lasting. So even though it might not be as comfortable to put on, I do feel like it lasts quite a long time. Let's go in with an angled brush and maybe we'll do these 2 shades. So it's like a grayish. Then this one's kind of like a darker purpley tone. We'll see. Yeah, it kind of looks like a little bit purple. Just to straighten out that wing. I know I have older eyeliners from the drugstore, but honestly, they should probably be thrown out at this point. Because I can't even remember when I bought them. So I'm like, Like I've swatched them and they seem fine, but I don't know. Let's go in with a little bit smaller shadow brush. This is just a Sydney Grace brush. I don't think it has a number on it, but it looks like this. And I'm gonna go into that kind of slate-ish shade right here and just see what I can do if I add it to the outer corner a little bit. That shade kind of reminds me of the shade that's in the Makeup by Mario palette, the neutrals. That bluey gray toned. It's not showing up too much, but I went in pretty light. So I mixed it with this darker one too. It's okay. Going back in with that brown and just kind of, it's weird because to me this looks brown, but when I put it on my eye it doesn't. It kind of looks more like mauve. Okay, we're gonna do the same on the other eye here. Just go in right here. It's not super pigmented. Like, it's nice, but I feel like I'm definitely putting in more effort than I normally do. But we know this about Drugstore. But yeah, that little 4-pan palette, I think they're called the bite-sized eyeshadows. Do they still have them? I hope so, because that one is so good. I probably should have just used that one because I know I really like it. But this one's good. It's definitely not bad. It's just you're obviously not going to get as much out of this palette. Which is funny because they redid these ones and I feel like the old ones were pretty good. So you'd think they would have only improved them. But this palette seems harder to not blend. It's not hard to blend, just harder pressed maybe. You just have to work a little harder to get it to show up. Okay, I'm going back in with the shadow brush. And this is just an old Clinique brush. Doesn't have a number or anything. Just says eye definer. I've had this for so long. Okay, so that's it for the upper. I feel like I need to go in with a tiny bit of powder right here. I'm looking a little shiny. So lower lash line, we're gonna use maybe this shade. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7th shade and the 3rd shade again. Just on the lower lash line. I'm just starting to think about it and I just have to like keep diverting my mind from thinking about it because I'm gonna drive myself crazy. It's hard because I know her stomach's not feeling well, but I want to take her for like McDonald's and like a puppuccino, like all the things that we couldn't do because she has such a sensitive little stomach. But I want to do that so that she enjoys her last couple days. It's like I keep going back and forth. I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. Nope, not happening. But like my fiance said, like I won't be able to handle, neither of us will be able to handle if something happens the day of the wedding. He's like, what if she just naturally passes the day of the wedding? It's like, I want her to naturally pass. I don't want to make this decision. But yeah, obviously that would be way too hard to deal with that day. So still using that same MAC eyeliner. Sorry, I'm trying to make my video happy. Get it together, girl. I don't want like this to be depressing. It's supposed to be about makeup. Makeup is happy. So I didn't add any more product on here. I'm just kind of defining that a little bit more. And then going back in with that brownie shade. Okay. Does this one look a little more gray? I feel like it does. Let's go back into that slate type shade. Okay, good enough. Probably just gonna cry it all off anyways. So we're gonna go in with the L'Oreal Voluminous Panorama Mascara. Now, I've used this a couple times. I didn't love it when I used it last time. Like, this is what I don't love. I don't like single spiky lashes. I like volume. But this one was on sale when I bought it, and which was still $14. Can you believe that? It's amazing to me that I'm like, oh, it's getting all up on there. It's very wet, and I don't love that. To me, it's just like making them little stringy string beans. I don't like it. I'm gonna go in with my good old reliable CoverGirl Exhibitionist. Because I feel like this will give the volume and the separation. Just forget about up there. I'll clean that up because it's a little bit out of control. But do you see already it's separated them more? And giving them a bit more volume. I don't know, I'm not liking the way these look at all. Am I gonna have to go in with a third mascara? Oh my god. Can anyone recommend a good waterproof mascara for the day of the wedding? I was thinking about getting Monsieur Big, because I know I like that mascara, Lancome, but they don't have a mini waterproof. Like, I don't generally like waterproof on a regular basis, so I wanted to get a mini. Huda doesn't have a waterproof version of this one, which I love, the One Coat Wow, so I don't know what to use. That, or there's the YSL Lash Clash, but again, I'd have to get a full size, and that one's already so hard to get off. I don't know, I'm not liking either one of these. Usually this mascara I really like, but I think I've just gotten so used to the One Coat Wow that I'm like, what? Nothing is making them look as good as that one. Like, these suck. And I know my lashes have gotten longer because I got a new UK lash. But it's just not giving me the volume that I want. Okay. Sephora Love the Lift. Why not? I know this one comes in a waterproof. Maybe I could get this one. So I chose this one over the Huda because it's more drugstore pricing. Oh, here goes the palette. That's better, huh? So let's try. Maybe that panorama just needs to dry out a bit, but so far, it's not for me. I'm just trying to fix the clumpiness over here. I feel like that helped a little bit, but okay. No bueno for the lashes. Let's go in with a CoverGirl just for the bottom. This will definitely be a mess later because of the crying thing. Literally, every time I hold her, I'm like, I just want to hold you forever. I just never want to let you go. I can't handle. Okay. So we have to clean up on top there. I'm just going to grab a spoolie. Probably should have waited a little longer, but I'm impatient. And then I'll just fix. It's still there. For some reason that one is stubborn and does not want to go away. So I'm just going to add a tiny bit more shadow right here. That kind of covered it. Okie dokie. Brows. Girl. I've been struggling with my brows lately. I mean, I struggle all the time with my brows, but especially lately. Like, I usually don't have any problems with the Benefit. And for some reason, I just cannot get it to be good for me. I'm going to use the Thick It Stick It by NYX. And this is a little bit too dark for me. It's in the shade Taupe, but I feel like it's the only one that actually stays from the drugstore. Like, I don't want to add too much because it's a little dark. But you can see it's actually just like, I like this better than their brow glue one. To me, that one doesn't keep them in place like this one. Okay. Then I'm gonna go in with a spoolie just to make sure they're kind of like set. Just go through them a little bit in case there's any like clumping. And then just go in with the NYX. I ran out of my CoverGirl. Usually I prefer the CoverGirl, the, what is it called? Clean Fresh Brow. It's like a super small point. But this is just the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in Taupe. This one's also a little bit dark. But blonde looks too red. So I bought this one because they were out of my CoverGirl And then I had bought a new one, but it's already gone. So I still have to buy a new CoverGirl. I don't know, are these brows staying? Kind of looks like they're not. There we go. I had to just separate them a little bit. Ugh, I just can't get the brows. I don't know. They're like being unruly lately. I'm like, what is happening? Stay put. Like, I almost have to put an obscene amount where you can tell the brows look like almost like there's a sheen on them. You know what I mean? Like they almost look like wet. Not right now, but when I use my Too Much Benefit. Okay, let's continue. I will fix them with this. This is the Maybelline Build-A-Brow. Trying to only use Drugstore. But my brows need help. I know literally everybody did this, but I just so regret tweezing them when I was young. I'm like, what were you thinking? They were so skinny. Like, I look back at pictures and I'm like, why? It was just like, you know, the like little spermy looking brow. Even if that came back in style, I don't think I would ever go there again because of the amount of work I have to put into my brows now. I'm like, no way, man. Just taking a tiny bit of the gel and just setting them down a little bit more. That's as good as it's gonna get, I guess. So I'm gonna go off camera and do my other brow, and then I'll be back to do the lips. Okay, but why does this one look so much better and all I did was use this? Like, it looks more natural to me. Well, now that I have you back, we'll just continue. I must have just put too much on this side. I'm telling you, my brows, they are a struggle. But I kind of like when people keep stuff like this in their videos because it's like, okay, we all... Like, I could do my makeup the same way every single day and I'll still struggle with something. And one YouTuber that I love, she's so funny, so beautiful, she'll do that. Like, she'll keep stuff in and she'll just show you how to work around it. And it's Julie Meikle, and she's just so funny. She's just like, okay, let's just keep going, which I love. Sorry, it's just reading a text message. Okay, so we're gonna do some of the Build-A-Brow again. Sorry, I know I'm super like quiet. Just have a lot clearly on my mind. Did I make that too thick? Oh my gosh, I go back to old videos and I had brow blindness. They were so thick. I'm like, what was I doing? How come nobody told me? I mean, sometimes my fiance would be like, whoa, those are looking big today. But I'm like, how did you let me walk around like this? What the heck? Don't get me wrong, they're still big and thick, but a little bit better than they were and a little bit lighter. I swear it was that NYX pen. Every time I would start using it, you'd get carried away, and then yeah, and then just you'd get carried away. So I don't like that I can see little spaces there. It's fine. We're just gonna go ahead and leave them. They're not perfect, they never are, but we're gonna just leave them. They look still thick, but let's just keep going. So this is the shade Peachy Queen by e.l.f. and broad spectrum SPF 25 sunscreen. Treat lips to a vacay and help protect them from the sun's rays with this pigmented SPF 25 gloss infused with vitamin E and a tropical coconut scent. Swipe onto the lips or over your fave e.l.f. lipstick for buildable color and a surge of moisture. Use as directed. Okay. So we're gonna use this one first. This is not the one I'm gonna keep on, which is why I'm just gonna show you what it looks like and then use the other one. So yes, they are very pigmented. As you can see, I was not expecting this. Smells nice, smells like sunscreen, like coconutty sunscreen. It's nice that you have this, but is it a little bit gimmicky? Probably. Like, I think it's nice for any company to add the SPF to the lips, because that's one thing, like, we definitely forget about. If I had, like, a coral cheek, then maybe. But knowing me, I would have to shear this out quite a bit. But yeah, with these types of things, I feel like you have to continuously reapply them for them to actually give you the sun protection that you need. But good idea. And we could all use it. I mean, that is better than nothing. So we're gonna go in with the, actually I'll show you the other one, then I'll show you how I would actually wear them. So this is, oh shoot, what shade is this? It's your mauve. This is definitely more me. Cool toned. I bought that one first, and then I was like, why didn't I get the other one? I haven't seen these in drugstores yet. I'm Canadian, and so usually I'll get my stuff off of Amazon US because a bunch of these things aren't out in Canada yet. These aren't out. The e.l.f. I don't think the e.l.f. is out either. The Buttermelt bronzers just came to stores. The Panorama, yes, is in stores. Is that everything? I don't know. So I'm just gonna wipe this off. And also this. This is the new Maybelline lifter liner, and it's in the shade On It. So it's kind of like a mauvey brown. And these stay, like once you, okay, well I just wiped it away, but once it dries, they stay. Like this is on my hand for so long. But it looks like you have a little playtime. It's funny because my lips are so kind of purpley toned, like cool toned, that even when I put an actual cool tone on my lips, it still can sometimes look warm. That's why I go for these like cool tone browns that I've been absolutely loving lately, like the Makeup Forever and the Kylie Cosmetics. So that's the shade. You know what I mean though? It kind of looks warm. And then I see it on like Magdalene Janet, and it looks so good and cool toned, and I'm like, what is wrong with my skin? Everything changes color. Okay, so let's go in with just this e.l.f. lipstick. This isn't new. This is called Creme. Why does it look orange? Because everything looks orange on me, so I'm gonna go back in with this e.l.f. lip gloss and just go over top of that lipstick. I feel like I need to go over it with the lipstick again. I don't know, is that a mistake? You know I usually like a cooler lips than this. Okay, again, I'm, you know, gotta keep the problems in here. Okay. There we go. I think that's good enough. What do you think? I really like the blush. I forgot how much I liked the blush. Okay, so did I read any details about this? I don't think so. So the e.l.f. Get buildable, just right coverage, and a long-wearing satin finish with a hydrating foundation that's anything but basic. Base-ic. It's base-ic. Directions: using a foundation brush or sponge, buff and blend foundation all over face and onto the upper neck. What does it say? 1% hibiscus. Why is that in French? Hibiscus complex. And it's supposed to be long wearing. Medium buildable coverage. Oh, 1% hydrating hibiscus complex. Sorry, it says it right on the front. But yeah, I really liked this foundation. For some reason, I'm looking a little more glowy today than I normally do, but I don't know. I don't know why. It's just powder a tiny bit. So immediately, I love the NYX bronzer. I wish I had a different shade. I wish I had number 2 or 3, but I feel like, as you can see, it still works. Even though it's such a light shade, when you look at it in the pan, it looks so light. So yeah, that is the shade Buttercup, and I really like it, but yeah, I would just get a deeper shade. The brows are okay. The brows are always just okay though, but for being a drugstore product, the Thick It Stick It is seriously one of the only ones that actually work and stay. So gotta hand it to them. It works. The lip glosses, they're very nice, but they're very pigmented. So I usually use something that's a little bit lighter, but I feel like if you want a gloss that has pigment, plus they have the SPF, I think they are very nice. Very soft on the lips, not sticky, which is a huge bonus. The lip liner, I'm just gonna show you. I want to put it on my hand and then let it sit for a second. But look at how cool toned it looks on my hand. And then on my lips, why is it looking so warm? Like, look at that. That looks almost orange. And then on my hand, purpley. But I'm gonna let that sit for a second. Hate it. Not that I hate it, but I don't like it. Panorama, I don't know. I feel like I've used L'Oreal mascaras in the past that I've really, really liked, but that one's just not it for me. I'm sure it works for some people, but I don't know why. It's like, if you can see, it's making my lashes just very stringy. Like, I feel like this side looks a little more separated, but nah. I just got used to my Huda mascara, and so now when I use that one, it just gives me everything I want. It gives me the length, the volume, everything I'm looking for. This is just okay. It's pretty, like the shades are nice, but I prefer the bite-sized shadows. I have, like I said, that Cafe au Lait one, and it's, I think that's the name of it. If it's not, I'll correct myself, but I feel like that one just gives more pigment than these for some reason. I don't know. It's pretty though. It's a pretty color story. And then what else? Obviously I use this all the time and I love this. I like it better than the NYX Lift and Snatch. This is the Maybelline Build-A-Brow, and I have the shade Soft Brown. The gel is not the greatest gel, but I mean, I don't use it that much. I usually use it just to like stick down a few brow hairs at the tail of my brow. But the pen is so good. It lasts such a long time and doesn't do that weird drippy thing that the NYX pen does, which is why my brows would always be so aggressively pigmented. And then I think that's everything. But yeah, I really like the foundation. So yeah, let me know what you think. I'll be right back. I just wanted to get my girl because she's so tired. Just love her so much. I just wanted you guys to see my little baby. Oh, she's tired. I'm gonna put her back to sleep, but yeah, I just wanted you to see her. She's like, okay, bye-bye. Look at her eye. She's like, I'm too tired for this. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and again, thank you for all of your kind words, and I love you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye.